Good morning, Mountains, as we are live here in Warfield, Kentucky. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. Good morning, JJ.
Good morning to you as well.
Yeah, the great day. I know they was talking about bad weather coming in for 4th of July, but I don't know if it's going to miss us or not. But right now, I cannot wait till the 4th because we got a big wrestling event coming up in Coal Run.
Do we really?
Yeah, so tickled to death for that to watch AMW wrestling. I think it's going to be streamed on D&D Sports Network, so you guys definitely want to tune in for that. But how'd your weekend go, JJ?
My weekend was great, but I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of this weekend I spent doing my homework. You know, you assigned me to watch a specific documentary, which was the Eric Kahn one, and I'll tell you what, I was blown away with what I watched.
So you knew nothing about until I told you that. And guys, if you missed the early shows of this, you missed how we explained how sheltered JJ grew up. Like, you know, I've took and asked JJ, okay, let's see how sheltered you are. I was like, do you know what Burnwell Beach is? He's like, yeah. He's like, I've been there. A friend lives down there. And then I was like, Chief Logan. I think I might have been there, twice. And then I was like, the Overlook in Pikeville. No clue what that is. And then, so it got me thinking, like, we ended up going to the battlefield in Prestonsburg. And when we pulled in, we turned around in the parking lot and the big Abraham Lincoln monument was there. Yeah. Eric C. Kahn paid to build a replica of what's at the... is it the Capitol building in Washington? I think that's so. What it is. Yeah,
they may have to quote us or comment on that.
Yeah, somebody let us know. But it is. Eric C. Kahn, he built that, and I told JJ, I said, do you know who Eric C. Kahn is? He's like, no, I've never heard of him. I said, are you kidding me? You lived in the mountains and you don't know who Eric C. Kahn is. So I assigned him a homework assignment, and you watched a documentary. So what's your thoughts on Eric C. Kahn?
I mean, how much time do you have? I think that's the real question. I was blown away with every single thing that I watched. Like, it was fascinating to me that, he had a judge that, he would assign the cases to, and the judge would approve 99.7% of the Social Security cases, which is something I couldn't believe. And
they had a good little hookup going.
Yeah, and good is an understatement. And apparently he was getting paid every single time that a case got approved. Kahn was getting paid at least $6,000 per case, and he was doing up to 1,000 cases per year. And I believe the judge was getting paid $500 per case. So the both of them was making a significant amount of money.
Yeah. Well, the thing that was, Eric C. Kahn ended up becoming like, he was a villain at the end. But, even though he was a villain, people were still rooting for him not to get caught when he was on the run. Like, everybody was rooting for Eric C. Kahn not to get caught.
And they were doing a poll on, like, taking bets on where they were going to find him, whether it was going to be like Kentucky, whether it was going to be Mexico, Ecuador. Like, they had a variety of different places, and it was just crazy that he was able to do it for 6 months whenever he went on the run.
Well, I took myself whenever I watched the C. Kahn documentary. The thing that blew me away is the people that I know and the people that I deal with. Mm-hmm. Was a lot of the people that was at them parties. And they have a lot of stories coming out. Now, a lot of people in the documentary might have been or might not have been at them parties. And I think that it was tough because Eric C. Kahn, that was during my addiction stage. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people that went to him and got their checks. And listen, you tell a 19-year-old kid that, listen, you come here, I guarantee you get your check. They're going to do it
within 30 days.
Yeah. And then everybody wanted to whine because their checks got took away. Well, you weren't supposed to have them anyways.
Absolutely.
But the only part, the sad part about it is the people that killed themselves that had families and that legitly needed them checks and legitly got them, but they got them through him and got them took away. That was the sad part of it. But rest of it, listen, I don't blame the man. I don't blame the people. I mean, it wasn't right by any means, but I mean, it was the state of time we was in, back in the early 2000s.
Absolutely. One of the funniest things to me was the last girl that they interviewed. At the bottom, it said 16th wife, maybe 17th. So it got to a point to where like he was going on vacation for a single week every single month, and he would go to a different country. And his employees were taking bets on whether or not he was going to get married or not every single time he came back.
Yeah. That's when you sit there, the thing that I like is, back then his advertisements is what got him. His advertisements was unreal. I mean, they was fun to watch. And then he'd have the billboards that had him, the statue of him or the little doll sitting on the billboards. And so, I'm glad you enjoyed the documentary, JJ. And now, guys, the next homework assignment I'm going to give him is The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. You've never seen that either, right?
Never heard of it.
Oh, God, you are in trouble. Yeah. So we got some comments coming in. Stephen Cassador says, I'm ready to be on the show. He said, put me in. Carrie Basden Clemens says, okay, JJ, with the Birch jersey. He said, I see you. So tell us, you got today's throwback jersey is a Birch jersey, number 54.
Yes,
tell us the story behind that.
Absolutely. And this jersey is from Kevin Basden, the assistant coach at Mingo Central. He's a brilliant basketball mind and an even better friend. And what's crazy is whenever I met up with him to get this jersey, I knew that he and I were going to reminisce and we were going to talk a little bit. But I didn't know we were going to sit down for 3.5 hours and talk. And I loved every minute of the conversation. And I look forward to having another one with him. We talked about life. We talked about the state of local basketball. We talked about coaching. And one of the things that stood out to me the most was, he really cares about what the next generation of basketball talent is going to look like. And he's determined to do everything he can to make sure that they have opportunities that we didn't have whenever we were kids.
Yeah.
Now, as far as his jersey goes, this one was very special to him. This was from his freshman year of high school. And the first game that he actually got to play, he got in the fourth quarter with 1 minute left to go. They were down 6 points. The very first time that he touched the basketball, he was 8 feet behind the three-point line. And as a freshman, he didn't know any better. And he just shot it, made it like it was nothing. And then the very next possession, he ended up hitting, I think it was either a buzzer beater or a three-point shot with a few seconds left to go to send the game into overtime, and they actually ended up winning the game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then the second game, which is either the second or third game, he played against a rival at the time, which was Harts
Creek, yeah.
And he ended up actually having his first 20-point game in this jersey. So, Kevin Basden, I really appreciate this. Well, I'm a huge fan of the throwback jerseys, so yeah, this is hands down my favorite one.
Yeah, and we want to tell everybody, if you have a throwback jersey, if you're a big time athlete, make sure that you send. It don't matter whether you was a big time athlete or just as long as you was relevant. Send us your throwback jersey or shoot a message, and we'll come find a way to pick it up and wear it here on the show. So Kevin Basden from Birch is your throwback jersey of the day.
Absolutely.
There we go. So, well, I got a surprise for you. You wore that, but when you was asleep last night, again, I booked our guest for today.
And who was the guest?
Kiera Thornsberry. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Kiera.
I'm not familiar with her game.
Okay, she is Carrie Basden's daughter.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, so that would be Kevin's niece.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so you'll get to interview Kiera.
I'm speechless because that makes me feel so old. Because I remember playing open gym with Carrie, and she was a problem. So if her daughter is anything like her, then absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna have to watch some highlights whenever we have a commercial break just to see.
Yeah, when we watch commercial breaks, I'll send you some highlights and let you do a little homework on Kiera. But one of my favorite kids, Kiera's like family here.
That is insane.
So I'm glad you picked that jersey.
That's a crazy coincidence too. Like, what are the odds that the one jersey that I get just so happens to be from the uncle
Yeah,
wow.
so that goes hand in hand. So
yeah, that's unbelievable.
So we see Barb Dawes tuning in. Barb Dawes had a good weekend. As Barb Dawes, her grandson Bryson Dawes, Mr. Logo, plays for Martin County point guard. Bryson Dawes ended up going down Tennessee and becoming the bracket sports national champion, and he was the MVP. So,
Really?
yeah. So
Wow.
you can go on D&D Sports Network. I think we put an article up last night on it, and we got a couple of highlights from the weekend. If you scroll back, you can find them. So
Absolutely, I will definitely check them out.
But JJ, we're going to take a quick commercial break. It's coming that time. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about my weekend in Lexington. We talked about yours. I'm going to tell you about my weekend in Lexington and about the OPB Swish, the newest women's professional basketball team, when we come back. So come right back and join us, guys, here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
And we are currently back. Yeah, is it? Looks like a commercial. I can't tell. Yeah, I believe it. Is it? Yeah, it shows up here.
Did you click it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, yeah, that was
Listen,
my
I left
mistake.
JJ in charge, guys. And JJ, you have one job.
I was looking on the TV screen and there was still a commercial, so it must be
that's delayed.
Yeah, it must be a slight delay, and that's what threw me off. So that was my mistake. We are back with the Morning Startup Show. I'm JJ Pruitt. This is Darryl McCoy. If you can't see,
he had one job, guys.
I bless you. So you know,
nah, that's okay, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
JJ's learning this because JJ is going to be doing this. I'm going on vacation on Friday, so next week you will be the one running the producing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you didn't get off to a good start, but yeah, we can get better.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can get better at that.
Nobody's perfect. You know, it's just day 6 of training day. You know,
there you go.
I'm learning how to sell, learning how to produce, learning how to host properly.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm a little I'm still a little new because on the Morning Startup Show here, we use a different system. Mm-hmm. So I'm still learning it too. So, you know, no shame there. But what it was is you're supposed to come over to this next commercial, click it, and come on. But a little producing on air, guys. But but we are back here. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. JJ, and I made the trip to Lexington this weekend to cover the OPB Swish, which is the newest pro women's team, the first pro women's team in the state of Kentucky.
And that is something that I'm really curious to hear about. Like, I want to know how many games did you get a chance to cover? And
it wasn't we didn't cover a game. It was league awareness. So the league president, CEO, Marsha Blunt, reached out and wanted us, every team, there's 16 teams across the nation in this league, and every one of them has to have a media outlet. So the OPB Swish chose D&D Sports Network to do all their games and coverage. Well, this weekend was the WABA League Awareness Weekend. So basically, they had to have media companies come out, interview them, record them, and that way that they could, you know, basically inform people about the league. It's even more important here because this is a new franchise. So a lot of people don't know about the OPB Swish. So, that's why, guys, hit that like and share button, get these numbers up here as the JJ. But when you sit there, I was amazed with the amount of talent that's on this roster. I mean, you go top to bottom, you got Carla Booth, you got Deja Thornton, who is national champ out of Transy. You got Kennedy Stacy, national champ, 15th region player of the year out of McGoffin County on this team. You got Dina Darryl, plays at Youngstown State. You got Makayla Epps. She's the big star. She went to UK. She played for the Chicago Sky, got drafted 33 overall in the WNBA draft. Then you got Victoria Dunlap, who got drafted by the Seattle Storm, played at UK. Then they got a new girl that was there yesterday, first time that she'd been with them, Amani Washington. She's a big time talent, plays overseas right now. So, there's a load of talent. Kate Fuller, trying to think who and I know I'm forgetting a ton of them. Courtney Gilman, Fletcher Gilman out of Tulsa. I'll try to look at the roster at break, and if I forgot any, I'll try to mention them. But they're coached by Jason Wiffenstadt out of Martin County here. So they're going to be playing their home games at Martin County High School.
So what's interesting to me is you mentioned some of these players got drafted.
Yep.
So my question to you is, so they do their WNBA league, and then they could transition to that league as well. Can they play on both at the same time, or are these former players? Or
what it is, they're former players. So there's players that got drafted and players that they've been 190 players out of this league.
That's a lot of players too.
Yeah, there's 190 players out of this league that has went and played in the WNBA, or that has got picked up from the WNBA or overseas. So, I mean, if you play in this league, it's kind of like a farm system. Yeah. It's a sister company to the ABA, men's basketball. So, this is a huge opportunity. These girls, I mean, they go out there, if these girls have big seasons, they'll be playing in WNBA next year.
So it's pretty much a G League / developmental league?
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And so couldn't be more excited, to see the talent yesterday. They scrimmaged against some men. All right. You had J.D. Harmon, former UK cornerback. You had a couple of UK linemen. You had Anthony Epps' two sons. One of them plays for the number one JUCO school in the country. So, I mean, these Mario from KSR played with them. Jackson Estridge, one of the top players in the 15th region. So they was playing against top talent, and these girls held their own. Like, I mean, they was giving the business. Like, the boys would come down, they'd get their dunks and stuff, but it still was a close game. OPB Swish might have won it. I mean, it was really close. You can watch the live on D&D Sports Network, but Deja Thornton, listen, her size is a problem. She's going to be fun to watch, and I cannot wait. We're going to have the OPB Swish head coach on tomorrow.
Really?
Yep.
I'm excited for that as well.
I'm extremely excited. So went there. The day before, me and my son went up the day before because we had to be there early that day to set equipment and all that up. So we went to Lexington and we ate at Jeff Ruby's. Now, Jeff Ruby's is the probably nicest steakhouse in Lexington. And we went in there. We was a little underdressed, to say the least. And when we went in there, they had the waiter coming, and he'd sitting there telling you, like, okay, what's the difference between this and this and this? Because when you read them menus at them places, you can't tell what exactly things are. Like they'll say, this is a aged beef, and there's like, it's got an aroma that it's set for 2 weeks longer than this steak.
That's too fast.
And then you look and it's like they'll never call anything what it is. So if it's just butter, a normal parquet butter, It's a golden,
golden
yellow.
I can't believe this is not butter. Or
Yeah,
something crazy like
it's
that.
a golden yellow.
Just tell me if it's medium or well done.
But listen, it ended up one of the best steaks you ever eat. That's the second time I've been to Jeff Ruby's, but this guy was giving me all this spiel, and I was like, dude, I don't even know what you're saying. I was like, just give me a ribeye and a baked potato. And but we ended up after that we went to the movies, seen Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys the whatever it is now, 5 or something like that.
How many are they gonna do?
I think this is the last one, but it was really good.
Was it really?
Yeah,
that's terrific.
It was really good. It was a good movie.
The third one disappointed me a little bit compared to the first two, but
this one, it wasn't as good as 1 or 2,
right?
But it was good, and you could tell like the sequel, they'll probably be the Martin's son-in-law, and I'd say Will's son.
Reggie?
Yeah, Reggie, and then Will's son will probably be the 2 bad boys. From the way it looked, them 2 will probably be the next.
I remember Reggie because like he was wanted to take out Martin's daughter.
Yeah.
And he got interrogated, and it was just to see how far he's come. Because I remember when he was in the second movie, he was like 16. So for him to be in the 4th movie and a grown up, like that's
but it was a really good movie. We was choosing between that and there was a Western that Kevin Costner's got out called Horizon. Then I forgot the Maxine was the other one. So we chose Bad Boys. And then after we left, it was like when the movie was over, it was like 11:30 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So me and my son walked to another movie theater, which guys, I do not recommend people do. We're not telling you to break rules or break the law, but we was like, we heard a bunch of cheering. We was like, what in the world's going on? Well, we went and looked, and the UFC fight was on. Yeah. So they played the UFC fight in movie theaters in Lexington.
That is insane. That's actually one of because you assigned me to do 3 articles.
Yeah.
And that was going to be one of my articles that I went with Alex Pierre knocking out the guy in the second round.
Alex Pierre is he might be the most dominant UFC fighter that I've ever seen,
with an exception of John Jones. What's crazy is he's 11-2. So for him to have already won 2 UFC titles and 13 fights, that's unheard of.
Yeah, and after the fight, he hinted that he's going to move up to heavyweight.
Well, if he does that, then he has a chance to be the first ever 3-time division champion, which we've never thought in a million years that something like that could be done. He won his first one at middleweight against Israel Adesanya, and then he won his second one against the guy that he just fought the rematch with. Yeah. So for him to,
well, and here's the thing, he fought at 205.
Yeah.
By the time the fight rode around, he was 232.
I believe that.
So that was unreal. That's like 20. I don't know, 27 like pound weight increase. That's insane.
And he took the fight on like 2.5 weeks notice.
Yeah. Well, the co-main event, the dude took the fight on 4 hours notice.
So how did that fight go? I didn't get a chance to see that.
It actually I don't know their names. Like I used to be a huge UFC fan. I'll tell you a little behind the scenes here, but but they ended up the guy that was booked for the card, the guy that took 4 hour notice would have won it if they would have had 2 more rounds. And if he would have got up, he could have finished the guy and won the fight. He had an opportunity to win the fight.
Did you say 4 hours notice?
Yeah, on 4 hours notice is what they said. So
that's insane. For him to even be able to make weight.
That's so as we are sitting here, but UFC, I used to be a huge fan. Nowadays, I don't know a lot of the younger ones because once I started D&D Sports Network, I didn't have time really to watch. Well, first 3-4 years I did, and we actually showed some fights on D&D.
Yeah, that would be something I would love to cover as an MMA match.
Yeah, we showed some fights. in the early days, which I don't recommend either, but we would share the broadcast over onto the D&D Sports Network.
Jesus,
yeah.
you guys.
So Dana White will get you for that nowadays, but that was in the early days. And but a lot of people, I don't know if I've ever told this. I used to be security for UFC.
Did you really?
Yeah. So when I lived in North Carolina, my cousin Tim, he ran security at the two biggest bars in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So I was a bouncer. And when the UFC fighters would come in, they'd come in once a year and do the UFC fight for the troops. They would do a free event for the troops. And that was when Afghanistan, and when we had guys that were Afghanistan and all that. So long story short, when the night before they would come out to the bars, and we would have to basically, I was their security, because they wasn't allowed to get in fights. It's illegal for them to fight where they're trained fighters. Mm-hmm. So you had to make sure nobody messed with them. So I got assigned to a guy named Keith Jardine. I don't know if you know who that is, the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine. He's in movies too. He's in that movie. Is it the what's the action movie that's got Sylvester Stallone?
The
Expendables? Yeah. He's in that. He's in a couple more movies, but anyways, he's a great guy, and I basically had to drive him from bar to bar, be a security. So then the next night during the fights, I had to be security, and I was security for him to walk out. So I was right there with him walking out, and it was a neat event, but during all that, the day before, they would have a media day on post. Mm-hmm. And during that media day, I tell you, the biggest, sometimes they tell you don't ever meet your the people you look up to, or the people, don't ever meet your heroes, because mm-hmm. they might let you down. Yeah. Well, he never was. I wasn't a big fan of his the style of fighting and stuff in UFC, but he was a big name, and one of the biggest pricks I ever met was Randy Couture.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
He's two-time division champion.
Yeah.
The first.
But I ended up. I got pictures. If you might be able to find them because my old Facebook got hacked and it's not around anymore. But I got pictures. BJ Penn, Uriah Faber, the California kid. Yeah, I got to actually roll with him. And I got pictures of BJ Penn choking me out, and it was a great times, but it did make me excited to get to sit down and watch, because I don't get much off time with this job. So, to finally get to sit down and watch a UFC again, and then Alex Pierre ended the way he did was exciting.
And what was crazy was, like, with 3 seconds left in the first round, he caught him with a hook.
Yeah,
and if it would have lasted any longer, he would have finished him. And then 13 seconds into the second round, he caught him with a kick to the head. So, it was, he was done.
Well, JJ, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, make sure you don't go anywhere, guys. Come right back and join us. We're going to talk about, mention a player that may be on the move, top player in the NBA. Then, we're going to talk about ESPN and how they're getting crucified for something right now. Okay. And then, we're also going to talk about one of the most dangerous roads in America, and you got to travel it the other day.
Yes.
So, guys, come right back and join us here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy. Bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Aracoma Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes. Oceana Discount Tobacco today. Nobody can beat Oceana Discount Tobacco's great prices or their great services. You're treated like family from the second you walk through the door. We want to thank Oceana Discount Tobacco for sponsoring today's events.
Go follow them on Facebook.
Law High School. Continue to follow D&D Sports, best coverage in the mountains.
So
All right, guys, we're back here on the D&D Sports Network morning startup show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy. JJ Pruitt, we have got a player on the move in the NBA, and Klay Thompson will be leaving Golden State, it looks like. And I'm hearing right now the favorite might be the Lakers to grab him.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, his father played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Michael Thompson.
Yep.
And, I mean, it would be close to home.
Well, I figured that would happen when I heard that, he was on the market. And then when I heard LeBron was restructuring his contract, that's why he's doing it, to create cap space so they can get Klay Thompson in there, and probably to take a lot of heat off them choosing Bronny. Yeah, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to make so much more money on the back end. I mean, he could restructure his deal, even if he did the veteran minimum contract to try to help them out. I mean, he makes, I mean, I don't know how much he makes, but it's close to probably $50 or $100 million just in endorsements every single year.
Yep.
So, I mean, taking a pay cut after you played 21 or 22 years in the league to try to give yourself a better chance to win a championship, it just makes sense.
I mean, it does, but, when you sit there and think, like, that $1 million, could be his daughter's, his grandson education. Well, I mean, I hope it don't cost $1 million, but I mean, like that. So that is a sacrifice, but
when your net worth's $1 billion, I mean,
it's different. Yeah. So
I think I saw an interview with him once where he even mentioned that he had some LeBron James rookie cards that were extremely rare that he had himself that were worth millions of dollars. So he's got plenty of.
LeBron ain't in no rush to make more money. I can tell you that. So as we're sitting here, I seen the other day. I was with you, and I seen a video of this girl that was just crushing ESPN. And I was like, what in the world? And so got to looking into it, and ESPN during the College World Series, how they always pan to the crowd and all that. Well, these two girls was sitting there eating ice cream cones. And I don't have the video. I should have got the video for you guys, but you can easily look it up. But it's basically it was a hot day, and you could tell like the ice cream cone was leaking, and they were just licking ice cream cones. Well, now these girls are mad because everybody's messaging their parents, their preachers, and and acting like they did something wrong when they was just eating an ice cream cone. And now they're blasting ESPN because they're saying it was a sexual innuendo, or like said ESPN, they do it all the time. Said that, and they said that they actually thought about that about 5 minutes before that. They was eating a hot dog, and said that they literally dunked down behind the person in front of them and ate the hot dog because they was afraid the camera would catch them. Now, I don't know whether I believe that or not. I mean, like if I'm at the, game, Rupp Arena, they do that thing now. They got a camera that, like if you eat something, it's got it coming out of your mouth. Like they reverse it, and they rewind it. And, I know in Rupp Arena, people are consciously, they won't eat. They'll eat out in the hallways.
So you wouldn't want to eat a hot dog in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, and people does that at Rupp Arena. But for these girls to be in the College World Series, I don't believe that they consciously was like, oh, they're going to make us. And if that's what you're thinking, then, I mean, undoubtedly you're wanting to get on camera,
If you have a feeling that that's going to happen, then, But my question is, when they were eating the ice creams, how long did ESPN keep the camera on them? Was it longer than 5 seconds? Was it 20 seconds? I mean,
no, it was, I guess probably like 15 seconds, something like that. So, I mean,
that's a pretty long time.
It is. And they was doing it. The thing, they was doing it like together. So, they was both doing it at the same time. And listen, that's in today's world. If you go to an event, you got to know everywhere you go in life, there's going to be cameras.
Absolutely.
You know, and I just don't see. You know, I mean, I guess if they're getting crucified, and the thing that sucked about it is you knew what was going to happen when ESPN done it, because then somebody went and edited it and put the Hawk Tui girls sound effect to it, and that was the video. And so I understand that they're embarrassed and that stuff, but I don't know if there's anything that you can do about it, because ESPN didn't edit it and put that, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they can do about it, but I just it's going to happen. If you go, I mean, there's a chance of it happening.
That's one thing that sucks about today's time is the cameras are always rolling. You just never know.
That's it. They're everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's cameras. But to feed off that, the Hawk Tui girl was found. She ended up. She was at a Zach Bryant concert this weekend. He brought her out on stage. So this girl is making a load of money off just a interview that they do all the time, in Nashville at the beach. You got these streamers that go and ask questions and stuff like that. This girl making a ton of money, and she never, I don't think this girl ever realized how big that was going to be. Now, on the flip side, she may not be known for what she wants to be known for now, and I'm sure her family is probably embarrassed, but
she's still laughing to the bank.
That's it. So and it looked like at the concert that she was ready to capitalize off from it.
Absolutely. Imagine how that makes like a blue collar worker feel.
Yeah,
somebody is going to go to the oil field like I'd had to, or go to the coal mines and work a 12 or 13-hour shift just to make $200 or $300, and then just know there's somebody out there on stage making thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yep, that's the point. And and we see Sue Cat Lester. So Sue Cat was on time today.
Yeah. So
Sue Cat, she didn't lie to us. She said it doesn't take much anymore in this world for someone to be an idiot over the least little thing. Yeah. And I agree with that. The way this world's going, I am, you always heard your grandparents say this world's going to hell in a handbasket, and, I would hate to see what they would say now if they were still alive, so, I don't know, man. I mean, in today's world, well, for instance, you was telling me about, an AI generated beauty contest. Tell me more.
Okay, so that was one of the articles that I picked to talk about, for today. And apparently there's an AI beauty contest that they're currently having. And basically what that means is there's a group of like 1,500 people that are using computer software to generate the perfect looking woman. And there's judges that are deciding like which one looks the best. These aren't real people. These are actually it's a computer software that's generating like a picture of a human being, but it's not somebody that's real. And I don't understand that.
Now, can you pull that up on your phone? We might be able to show people what it looks like. But so these, how do they like design it, or?
Yeah, they use a bunch of different AI software to design like the perfect human being, and then people judge on whether or not they think that's the best looking one.
No, that's insane. AI is so dangerous. When you was telling me that, he was telling me, we was like, he's like, have you ever used AI? I was like, no. And you showed me a thing. Let's see if the folks at home can see this, JJ. JJ, stand up there and put that to the camera and let's see. Well, here, I might be able to get it with your camera if you. There you go. Yeah. So hold it up toward the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right here. See, that's an AI generated picture.
It's not even a real person.
That's not a real person. And if you scroll up, like there's another one, and what's the website that these people can go look at that on?
Oh, this is just a CNN. This is a CNN article.
CNN article.
Yeah, all you have to do is type in AI beauty contest on Google, and it'll be one of the first articles that you see pop up.
Okay, so when you sit there and look, I mean, that's insane that we're having beauty contests over AI generated figures. Like, these ain't even real people, and there's a beauty contest for it.
This is insane. Like, artificial intelligence really is taking over.
Yeah,
and it's scary.
It's unbelievable. I don't see, like you was telling me, like, if I wanted to make a song about, us starting up, well, okay, me and my wife, meeting at McDonald's, 6 years ago, you could put all that in there and it would generate a song.
Yeah, all you have to do is just give me an artist that you like, and I'll say, write me a song about two individuals that met at McDonald's 6 years ago and then went on to have a happy life. In the style of whoever, and it will
Conway Twitty.
Okay, right.
Let's see. We're doing a little producing on air here. So
write me a song.
Does it actually play it?
It won't play it, but it'll give you the lyrics to it.
Oh, okay.
Write me a song about two people who met 6 years ago
at McDonald's, and it will take and
went.
How do you get to that though?
You just go to the App Store on your iPhone or the Android and just type in Ask AI, and it'll generate you a song. Hold on.
So that's one thing that gets on my nerves, and I'm sure you folks at home go through it too. Does anybody, let's see here. So it says 6 years ago at McDonald's, we met a chance encounter. Neither of us could forget. You were ordering fries. I was sipping on tea. Little did we know you were the one for me. From the food to forever, our love did grow through laughter and tears. Highs and lows, hand in hand, we'll walk life's road. The couple who met at McDonald's. That's insane. And it goes like, guys, they are like 7-8 verses here.
It's scary too. Like, and I can imagine being in school.
Yeah.
And needing a 1,000-word essay to be written for me.
Yeah.
And being able to instantly have it written.
I agree with Sue Cat. She says that AI is dangerous. And listen, when you take and, we say that, and I get aggravated with AI because, like, on Facebook, every time you go to type something in now, you can't type somebody's name without it popping up Meta AI or something like that.
Yeah.
How can I help you? Like, say I'm looking for JJ Pruitt is a name that said a lot. Now, are you looking for this JJ Pruitt, or are you looking? No, I'm just wanting to type his name in so I can get to his Facebook to send him a message.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, AI. I really wish, and I did hear that that they're starting to go backwards on AI
because of how much it's evolved.
Yeah,
I mean, it's to the point to where this is something interesting that you may not have known, but the scammers, the people that usually do the IRS scams, they're using AI generated software to alter their voices to make it sound like there's somebody else. For example, if one of your children, if they got a hold of their voice, they could take like a 10-second clip of it and put it on a website, and then they could instantly make themselves sound like that. And what they'll do is they'll call you and be like, Dad, I need you to come here. Like, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me some money. And you will think that it's one of your children. But really, it's one of those scammers.
That is insane. Who ever thought the world would come to that?
And I know when I was a kid, my parents used to say the exact same thing, like hell in a handbasket. And I would be like, you guys are crazy. But fast forward to 20 years later, I'm thinking, how can it get any worse?
Jimmy Johnson, listen, hey, that is the Ericoma drug comment of the day. Sukat Lester says AI is a very dangerous thing. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy Johnson's next comment, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, Allen Iverson. So touche, Jimmy.
The answer was a problem.
But I mean, I just, when you get to beauty contests, that's going a little too far. Mm-hmm. So I could go even further with beauty contests when you talk about like you got most dangerous roads. Mm-hmm. All right. You didn't know it the other day, but we were sitting there talking about the most dangerous roads. I was like, JJ, where do you think the most dangerous road in West Virginia is? And you're sitting there thinking, I forgot. What did you say?
Beach Creek Mountain.
Yeah, you said Beach Creek Mountain. But that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is the old road. I do not know the correct route. I do not. I'm really bad with routes. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody says, Route 645, I'm like, I have no clue where that's at. Like they'll mention it all the time, but I'm like, where's it at? Like, what store is on it? Where's it close to? Like, tell me that, So I don't know if anybody else is like it. Let us know if you are good with routes or, because you do got some people that says, down there on Route 3 or, on 23. And you'll never hear me say on 119, I'll say on the 4-lane going through Belfry there. Yeah. That's how I explain it. But anyways, we was over West Virginia, the most dangerous road in West Virginia. And I think it might have been east of the Mississippi or in the U.S. was the road from Logan to Man back in the day, the old 2-lane road.
Yeah, and I didn't even, and by the time we got off of that road, I didn't know that it took us straight to, back to the interstate. I would agree with you. That's a pretty dangerous looking road. I'm not sure if I agree it's the most dangerous just because of my experience with Beech Creek Mountain during the wintertime, but I would say it's a very close call.
Well, and honestly, I travel a lot of places these days. The most dangerous road that I know is the one from I think it's there's 2 different mountains. I always get them mixed up. It's not Peter Fort Mountain. It's the one going from Blackberry over to Phelps. Oh, yeah. Going up Left Fork of Blackberry over to Phelps. Pounding Mill might be there. I get the 2, Pounding Mill, and I forgot the other one. Somebody let me know which.
Yeah, I actually know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of my family is from the Freeburn/Phelps area.
Yeah. So that's the most dangerous road that I know in Pike County. Mm-hmm. And by the way, guys, we're going to start doing counties. We're going to start reviewing counties. We're going to do number 1 restaurant to eat at in the county. We're going to do the what the most dangerous road is. We're going what they're known for, why they're named. We're going to give you the history of the counties in our coverage area.
And that's actually going to help me out a lot because been a little shelter for most of my life, so I don't really know the areas that much. So I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to learn more about all of these places.
But we was on that road from Man to Logan the other day, and I told you, I said, this is the most dangerous road, and you was like, is it? Well, the rock cliffs stick out. Yeah. So back then, a lot of co-truck stuff come through there. They would get hammered because they'd hit them rocks. You had to be very careful, and you can't see around a lot of the curves because of the way it is. So I could see very well why it was the most dangerous.
Well, when you put it that way, at least when I'm on Beech Creek Mountain, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
But whereas with this road that you're talking about,
you have no clue what's coming.
There's a lot of different things that could come at you.
So lot of blind spots. Yeah. But it took us down the 3-mile curve. So have you ever heard anybody say 3-mile curve?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that's right there in the between Logan and Man. Yeah, I don't actually believe it's 3 miles, but they say it is. But anyways, there used to be a hill climb there. That is something that I really wish I wish would come back, because especially with the Hatfield and McCoy trails, that they had it was a little bar. You could go there. They had it was a restaurant. You could get food, and then I'm gonna have to turn the TV off. JJ is enamored by the TV. You are on delay on the TV, right? But on the 3-mile curve. It used to be a drag strip. They had a drag strip where people would race 4-wheelers and stuff. And then they had a hill climb where people would climb this hill. It was a steep hill, and they would see, who could make it the farthest up that hill. But they had bleachers, and then they had that little bar. It was an awesome night out for families to go hang out there. People was into that stuff. And even if you wasn't in it, it was neat. But I wish they would bring that back, and especially with the Hatfield and McCoy trails, that would be a big hit somewhere.
Absolutely. And I never really got a chance to go to the hill climbs, but I heard a lot about them from my friends. My question to you is, how dangerous are those? Because I've driven past them before, and I've seen
the people that does them all the time. I guess they're used to riding up, and they know what point that they're about to bog out, and they'll jump off.
Well, how damaged are their
their ATVs get hammered. So it's very costly, and can really hurt you bad. But You know, I mean, it's I don't know if that's why that went away or not. That too many people was getting hurt, but I would say you'd have to have a big insurance policy on your property.
So these hill climbs you're talking about, like, are they like contests? Like, can there be like cash prizes won? Like,
oh yeah, that's why they do it.
Yeah.
Okay. But by the way, speaking of insurance, guys, this segment is sponsored by Derek Bowling at Kentucky Farm Bureau, located in Hazard, Kentucky. You went there the other day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you need insurance in the Perry, it don't matter where you're at, Perry, Pike, Floyd, Derek Bowling can take care of all your insurance needs. So we got Kevin Bazin says coming back to Del Barton next year, the Moonshine Hill Climb.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be something.
It's now I think that you can. I think you can actually have you can take and with the hill climb, I guess you can make them sign waivers. That way you're cleared insurance purposes. But that's something that, I mean, it needs to be brought back. So I'm glad that Kevin Basin, I'm glad that that's coming back. But, as we sit there and look at the hill climb, we talk about things in our area that used to be here. There's nothing here anymore for kids. Nothing.
No. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, the town of Matewan used to have a block party.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody in the comment section will remember, but that was something that was really big.
A block party?
Yeah, they called it a block party. It was like,
Vincent Street still does that on, I think, 4th of July.
Really?
I think they have a big party where they let fireworks and stuff off there.
There used to be a big, gigantic truck. It was like 106.7 truck.
Yeah.
But it was shaped like a radio, like a stereo. They used to come and play music and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
Well, and the other thing that they've done away with, well, a few things, swimming pools. The closest swimming pool. Well, I think somebody said they opened Hardy Pool back up, but used to the closest one. You see, Pikeville, they done away with Pikeville swimming pool, and they put something for the school there, that new athletic complex. So you had to go to Chief Logan was the closest swimming pool. So
what do you think the reason is behind them getting rid of the pools and stuff?
That they just so much money to keep up. Listen, the one at West End needs put back in. I mean, listen, Parks and Recreation Board, put that swimming pool back in at West End. Our kids want something to do there, and that swimming pool, yes, it was. And then the other thing is movie theaters. Yeah. When you think about it, I mean, if you live in the Tug Valley area, you got to go to Logan or you got to go to Pikeville. If you live in the Paintsville, Prestonsburg area, no movie theaters.
What about the Williamson movie theater? Is it still there?
No.
They took it out?
Yep. Took it out. Yeah. The people, well, the thing is, and you see people all the time say, it's a shame that we don't have a movie theater. But when it's there, you don't go support it.
That used to be the place to be. I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's my pet peeve with people in this area. They complain about stuff, but when people go put stuff in, they will go buy this one, like say a restaurant. People will go buy Cheech's 1,000 times a day to go to Charleston to eat. If somebody puts something in, guys, always support local, because that's the only way that our area is going to grow. Yeah,
they pay like $70-$80 to go to Hibachi's.
Yeah.
But can't pay $40 or $50.
That's it.
Yeah.
To go eat at a local establishment.
Yeah, I know the price of tickets has increased. It's like $13-$14 a person now, but still, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, in the movies, that's something that every area needs. They need a movie theater, a local movie theater, but people won't go support it, Right. But I do see a coming back of the movies. I would buy stock right now in movie theaters because, I see like Logan went and redone theirs, put recliners in them. So I could see that.
So I got a question. Do you think that it has to do with more of the people not wanting to go or the quality of movies that have been coming out?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I think COVID, people are finally getting over COVID now.
Yeah.
And I think that's causing a spike in it. And then, the quality of movies definitely has something to do with it.
Yeah. I get tired of seeing Avenger movies. And
Yeah. I mean, it gets old, so I don't know. Hopefully they hurry and come back out. So, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, hopefully we will have Kiara Thornsberry with us. So come right back and join us here in just a second on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy.
All right, guys, the D&B Auto Sales. Right now, guaranteed credit approval. No credit, bad credit, good credit, it don't matter. Guaranteed credit approval 100% right now at J&B Auto Sales. Stop by and see them today in DeFord, Kentucky. Crum Funeral Home in DeFord, Kentucky is committed and giving the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable price. If you don't want to have to deal with heavy financial obligations during your grieving process, come see us at Crum Funeral Home. Our staff is ready to serve you.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
And we are back here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and we have a very special guest with us, JJ. We have the Bulldog in ball shorts, Kiara Thornsberry. How you doing, Kiara?
I'm doing
Can you hear
good. How
us?
are you? Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Good. Good. First of all, good morning, and I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, Kiara, you are an hour behind, right?
Yeah.
I think she's on a little bit of delay. She's an hour behind us, and you have been up. Tell us what time you got up this morning.
This morning, I got up around 5 in the morning because I had tempo runs at 6, and then I had weights after.
Okay, so and that's what people always tell you whenever you're wanting to be a college athlete. They always tell you, listen, you got to be ready to get up at 5 o'clock, lift weights, 6 o'clock, do a 2-hour basketball session, then 10 o'clock, go to class, come back at 4 o'clock. Has it been a little hectic getting used to it?
I mean, it's really just like the workouts that I'm getting used to because I'm not used to pushing myself like past my limit. Like it's actually helped me a lot mentally, but like thankfully I only have one class right now and it's online, so I'm managing that really well. And we have Mondays we have 100-yard sprints and then weights, and then we have practice. And then, like, it's all spread out really well. So it makes it easier.
Yeah, so when you take and right now, you've been down there, I guess, probably about 3 weeks. What's been the hardest thing for you to get used to so far?
Just not having family around. Like, I don't have all my siblings here. I'm myself, so I have my own room. And so, like, later on in the day, I get really homesick, and I usually do my nightly calls with my family and just say hi to everyone. But that's really the only thing. It's basketball, and you just got to push yourself, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm thankful that these girls are already like family to me, and so it's just made it easy.
Yeah, well, now you're out of high school and you're an adult now. So, I guess the question everybody wants to know, they know that you still have a boyfriend here in the mountains. How's it long distance relationship? How is that hard to get used to?
mean, us being 17 and 18 years old, like, it's gonna be hard on anyone. But if you want something to work, you have to actually fight for it. And right now we're doing really good, and it's just communication, and I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome to hear. And JJ, Kara, we had a surprise. JJ had no clue, but his throwback jersey of the day is one that you might know quite well. Can you see?
Let me see. Who is that?
It's Kevin.
That's your Uncle Kevin's jersey. That was the first one that he wore.
Y'all are
That was the first.
y'all are gonna blow his head up.
Well, JJ, I always let you ask a couple questions, so go ahead.
Well, first of all, he caught me off guard with this. This is surreal because I remember playing basketball with your mom. We had a bunch of open gym sessions back in the day, and she was a phenomenal player. So, I've had a chance to see some of your highlights as well, and I've noticed that you are a really good all-around player. You're a tenacious defender. You're a really good shooter. You do a great job of getting your teammates involved. Like, out of all the three of those things, which would you say is your favorite to do whenever you're on the basketball court?
I like getting the steals and getting the easy layups, and I like getting the steals and getting my teammates. Like, defense wins championships, and I also think that defense hypes the game up, and if you get 3 steals back to back, you're on a roll now. And I mean, I just think that's the best part of basketball.
Absolutely. And who were some of the players that you grew up watching on the women's side and on the men's side, or you can choose?
On the women's side, I grew up watching Emily Baker. She went to Belfry. Makayla Robinson. And her name's Dana. She's in the WNBA now. She plays for the Chicago Sky. I think she went to Louisville. So I watched all of them, and those are really the 3 that I've always looked up to. And the only people I really have, like, thought about is, like, my family that's played, and, like, just to see that all of them were really good basketball players. I wanted to live up to expectations and be better than them, because there's a lot of trash talk that goes through the house. So it's really just family.
Okay, so how old were you whenever you first meet your mom one-on-one?
Me and Mom actually, like, we can't finish a full game of one-on-one. It ends up in a fight, and, like, the only time I remember beating her in anything basketball related was in a left-handed game of fours.
So she's one of them ones that calls a foul every time the game's about to be over?
Yeah, or she fouls you, and it's a hard foul.
Yeah, because she grew up in the 90s, so it's that 90s basketball.
Yeah.
Well, she's anything like myself. I stopped playing my son when I seen that he was getting close to beating me. I never played him again, so he can never say he beat me.
Well, I have played my dad before, and I did beat him, and it was at the Bevins court, so I'll always say that I at least beat him.
So we got your Uncle Kevin one-on-one. Can you take your Uncle Kevin?
100%.
Kara, as you sat here, and I told JJ, he was asking me, he said, what makes this girl so special? And I said, probably the most special thing, I said, is that, she would have been the all-time record holder of probably every category in every stat at Belfry if she would have stayed. And you gave all that up to go win at a high level, and you accomplished that. 15 region titles, going to all A championships, going to Rupp Arena. When you look back, are you content with your decision?
There's many aspects where I'm very content with that. I wanted to play at a high level. I wanted to be put on the big stage just to see how I would do under pressure. And I'm actually really proud of myself and how I did and how I held myself accountable. And it got me ready for college. But I mean, in every basketball player, like you want to win, like you want to hold records, you want to score the most points. So there's sometimes where I'm like, well, it would have been nice to score a lot more, but in the same way, I'm so excited that I made it to Rep twice. I've won region. I've got to go on so many trips, and I've experienced life at the greatest point, and I'm perfectly content with it. I'm happy my basketball career has went in the way it has.
That's why that right there, I used to be like, man, I what could have been, but then I look back at all the stuff that, Coach Orem, all the things that she took y'all to do, and all the trips to New York, stuff like that that they offer you over there at Pikeville. I mean, I don't think you could have ever got them experiences at Belfry, although you would probably be forever renowned as the GOAT at Belfry. But them experiences and memories, that's what high school is about. So I'm very excited that you got to wish that, because you had your Jacksonville State offer before you left Belfry, right?
Yeah, I had got it the summer of, I think my freshman, like going into my sophomore year, maybe. It was around my freshman, sophomore year.
Now let me ask you this: when you take a look at the girls' game, I personally think like we was on a 2-3 year downswing where a lot of the best girls basketball players wasn't playing because I think the popularity of volleyball took a lot of the great basketball players over to a different sport. And, but now it seems like with the emergence of Caitlin Clark that girls basketball is starting to get that shot in the arm it needed. Do you see things like that?
Yeah, I do. I am a big advocate for girls basketball. Like, I think that everyone should play at a young age, and if you love it, you love it. And I fully support even playing just for fun. But like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Sabrina, like Asia Wilson, like all these women in the basketball part of it, they're showing girls that you can do what you want to do if you just put your mind to it. And Caitlin Clark is the best role model I really think that a young girl could have. She handles the press well. She handles pressure on the court and off the court. And I just think that most girls really need to look up to her. And even if they don't play basketball, I think that they need to have someone like that as a role model or to even watch. And I think that most people in the sports world needs to follow her.
I agree 100%, and I think, that women's basketball is going to gain so much from her, not just on the pro level. I mean, you're going to see everybody's contracts go up because she's going to bring so much money. Like, for instance, their home tickets, for what you could get a ticket for nowadays, you could get a season pass for a year ago. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went to a WNBA game, and it only costed me like $15 to $20 to get in.
Yeah, and now Caitlin Clark's home games are $480 a ticket.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, and it's honestly like it helps college, it helps high school. Like, I just think that everyone needs to like follow her, and I just think that she's brought a lot of attraction to women's basketball.
Yeah, and one thing you might be excited about, I don't know how much you've known, or because I know you've been busy, with conditioning and all that, but there is now a women's pro team in Kentucky, the OPB Swish.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Like, I've been working out with Carla since I was little, and to see her build teams and build things around the mountains and take women that love basketball and take them to another level just shows like if you really put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. And I really think that like Carla's good. Like we scrimmage a bunch, and she always pushes me, and I push her, and I'll beat her sometimes, and she'll beat me sometimes. But like she's one of the people that I really have tried to always put my game towards. Like
Yeah.
since I was little, I've always been told like you play like Carla, you are built like Carla,
Yeah.
and she has been a really good role model to me. And I helped her with the Mullins camp before I left, and when I come back, I'm going to help with her more. So it's like a full circle moment
Yeah.
when realizing like we're both achieving our dreams and everything's happening, and
Right.
it's just fun to see.
Or Carla, I actually yesterday we went down and the WABA had their league awareness weekend, so I had to go down and film the official practice for the OPB Swish, and that was the first time I'd ever got to see Carla actually in action. And believe it or not, I would agree. Like her game is almost a mirror image of yours.
Yeah, it's like, and before she started, I think the practices, I was playing in her 5-on-5 league, and she was just talking to me about like her getting in shape, and she's dropped like 20 pounds. She's really, really in shape, and like that's just something I strive to work towards, and like I want to be so good that someone can't take what she's done, and so I think she's gonna thrive in any situation she's put in.
Have you got a chance to see the roster that they put together?
Yeah, I saw some of it. A name that really like stood out was Makayla Epps, just because like I've watched her and like her dad and my dad talk some, and I'm hoping to have a few things up my sleeve in the next year or two, and I'm hoping to maybe get her involved with it. And the relationship, she's so nice to everyone that I've ever like came in contact with, like that has talked to her. She's an amazing person, and she's an even better ball player.
Yeah, she's Makayla is a great person. She was one of the first when we started D&D. She was one of the first big names that really gave us a opportunity and helped build us our platform down in Lexington. And yesterday she commentated the practice with us, and she's excited to come to the mountains because she got so much love from the mountains during her playing days. She's excited to get back here, and OPB Swish will be playing their games at Martin County. So if you're in on a weekend, that might be something that you definitely want to catch a game.
Well, I most definitely plan on coming to watch them just because like it's a pretty stacked team, and it would be a really good game in any way. And I know that they play, I think, in Atlanta one time. So I'm pretty sure
That's this weekend coming.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and go watch maybe, or I'm just gonna pick another game that's closer.
Yeah, that's this Sunday. They play in Atlanta, and then they'll take the next weekend off, and then their first home game is July 20th here in Martin County. So, it's the player that I was most impressed with. I mean, you got big names. You got, Dana Darryl, who I think is the best player that I've ever covered in the D&D era. You got a player like Kennedy Stacy was the surprise. Like, that girl's good. Like, yeah. I see why she won a national title. But Kerry, when you take and look at for college athletes, what would you tell a kid right now? You've only been there for like 3 weeks, so you've not got to experience the school side of it added in yet. But what would you tell any kid that dreams of that life? What do they got to look forward to once they get to college?
I mean, it's like you're on your own. Like you really have to, it's either grow up or you're not going to make it, and everyone's held accountable, and you're held to a higher standard that you've ever been held to. And like I really think you're going to have the best years of your life people say high school is the best years, but I really think college is is going to be my best years. And like everybody's as good as you and better, and so it just pushes you to work even harder and makes you want to get in the gym, makes you want to be in shape. So like the only thing that I really have to say to kids that are wanting to go to college is to stay humble and to stay kind. And because if you come here with a big head, someone's going to knock you down real quick.
That right now, have you, you being there, your talent level, how do you stack up to some of the veterans on the team?
I'm slowly but surely starting to get the quickness down, and to like my defense is getting better towards these girls because these girls are they're as quick as I've ever seen somebody, and so
Yeah.
I really think like if I work, there's a chance, but at the same time, like these veterans are good. We have 5 seniors. So
Yeah.
they've been here. They know the game. They know everything, the ins and the outs of college basketball, and it's not really like obviously you want to play, but it's really like where do I fit in the mold on this team, and where can I help them? So like
Okay.
if I have to come off the bench and play my little heart out and play defense until I can't play defense no more, that's what I'm gonna do. It's really more about like I want the wins,
Yeah.
and if that's me getting them water, then I'll get them water. If it's me going hard in practice and for them to get better, then that's me going hard in practice. It's not really like me sizing me up with them or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just I'm gonna make them better. They're gonna make me better, and we're gonna compete.
Well, when you sit here and look right now, we got a lot of people tuning in back home. You're a fan favorite, and so we got a lot of comments coming in. Let me get to some of them here so I can read. You said Terry Jackson. Well, you got a ton coming in. Said you better be good to Connor and cut it out from the big head stuff. Said love you, Kiara, and that come from Kevin Basden. Carl Whitey Little said good luck this season. Kiara said I know you'll do great at Jacksonville. Terry Jackson says grit. She's got it, no doubt. Said I'll take her over anyone. Carrie Bathan said she's getting a kick out of you saying 100% you'd beat your uncle. Said now Jimmy Johnson says let's see, Makayla had a rare trait. Well, that was we'll get to that later. Terry Jackson says love your humbleness, and Mary Hodge said Kiara is so humble, best kid out there. So you was that's one thing I can say. You was a fan favorite when you was here, and and I'm gonna ask you a couple fan questions that a lot of kids watching may get a kick out of them and want to know about you. What is your favorite artist? What's on your iPod? What's the number one song that you go to?
I'm a country all the way through and through.
Okay.
And right now I'm on a Chris Stapleton kick and
Okay.
a Lane Wilson kick. And but my go-to song is by Lainey Wilson, and it's Wildflowers and Wild Horses. And it's just, I love Lainey Wilson. I went to the concert, and it's just, she's I think, one of the top performers. And she is also a true definition of staying humble, and she's one of my favorites.
I'm also a big Lainey Wilson fan because of the show Yellowstone. She was on there a lot, so that's why I've become a Lainey Wilson fan. What is growing up? Who was your favorite player?
Makayla Robinson.
Okay, yeah, that Makayla for you. I know JJ don't know her. JJ was a little sheltered, so Makayla Robinson played at Ashland. She's the reason we added Ashland to our coverage area.
Really?
Ended up going to Louisville, and her game was a lot like Kiera's. I mean, she would be another girl that you could describe as a bulldog in ball shorts.
Oh wow!
So now what was your biggest memory of high school hoops?
I have two, and it's going to New York and playing against like top competition and like playing with the shot clock and just those memories with all my friends. And then probably my 8th grade year at Belfry going to the 2A state tournament.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, if Kiera Thornsberry comes back, as say you're really busy at college and you're inducted into the Belfry Hall of Fame and the Pikeville Hall of Fame, you can only make one weekend. Which one you going to?
I don't really know.
That's a hard one.
I mean,
you had great memories of both.
Yeah, I
had
have
good
really
numbers
good
at one place and one at the other.
And
I'll let you escape on that one. That's one we'll ask you next time you come. We'll let you think on that one.
Okay.
So in your family, when all's said and done, say 10 years from now, once your little brother gets up to your age, who will be the best baller to ever be remembered out of the Thornsberry family?
I think it's going to be either John,
including the babies too.
I think it's going to be either my little brother John or my little sister Cami. They both. Okay. John's a baller. John's a bucket. Like you can't take that away from him. He has that swag that like it's 10 times worse than I am. He has the big head, and he's gonna tell you he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm good." Like he's not gonna hold back. But Cami, I think, is a rising star, and I think that she's a very defensive mentality, and she's also like will do anything that you need her to help you win. And I think that if she keeps working, she's going to continue growing as a player. And I think that her and John might be in a tight race to the best ones, and I want them to be better than me.
That's what I'm sure that they both are excited to hear you say that. And when you take and look, girls basketball right now, I think give it 2-3 years that some of the best talent in the state will be coming out of Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia. When you look at the young talent we got with, Carly, Stanley, you got Kiera Woolham, you got the Co-Grove girl. I mean, we just got a load of young talent, and excited to hear you say that Cami may be in that group.
Yeah, and in all honesty, like I help my dad whenever I can, and when I come back with the middle school girls, and I really think that this year's team is going to shock a whole lot of people, and I really think that you're going to look at it and be like, wow, like y'all were working, because they've been in the gym. And when I come back in, me and Miley Colgrove, we go at it. I'm playing defense on her as hard as I can, and I push her, and I push Kiera too. And I really think that Belfry Middle School girls is really going to shock the county, and I really think that they might make a run at the middle school state tournament.
People always argue whether or not a Division I girl could be a high school boy. Kiera Thornsberry versus Connor Napier, who wins?
Me, all day, every day. We've done this before, he can't shoot, I will beat him 100%. The only way that he beats me is if he posts me up. But then again, I'm quicker than him, so I'm getting around him and I'm stealing the ball. So,
well, I tell you, Kiara, my last fan question for you. If I said right now, okay, Kiara, I'm gonna Uber you some eats down to Jacksonville State, what restaurant would you say go pick me something up from there?
Waffle House, 100%.
What restaurant from back home?
Oh, Made to Crave.
Oh, okay. Well, it would probably fit what you're doing now a little bit better because you get your protein in, and you probably can't eat too much junk, especially in this next 2 months, right?
Yeah, I'm just missing Made to Crave right now. Like, I tried Chipotle and it doesn't hit like Made to Crave does.
JJ, you got any last questions for Kara?
Whenever your siblings finally get of age and they're old enough to play you one-on-one, are you going to treat them the way that your mom treats you and not let them not finish a game?
100%. I'm 100% going as hard as I can on them. Like, me and John already play right now, and like Dad has to tell us to quit because it ends up in a fist fight. Like, it is literally, it gets pretty heated.
Well, that does not surprise me, knowing your mentality and your competitive nature. And Kiara, I want to take and thank you once again for joining us. I want to tell you that we miss you and love you, and hope that everything comes to fruition for you. And I can't wait to see where you're at in about a month. We'll bring you back on the show and see how your conditioning went.
Thank you so much.
All right, Kiara, have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Oceana Discount Tobacco today. Nobody can beat Oceana Discount Tobacco's great prices or their great services. You're treated like family from the second you walk through the door. We want to thank Oceana Discount Tobacco for sponsoring today's events. Go follow them on Facebook. Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Holman Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes.
And we are back here on the D&D Sports Network morning startup show. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here with you this morning. JJ just had Kiara Thornsberry. So was she what you thought?
She's everything that I thought and much more. She's very well spoken. She's humble, but at the same time, she knows how good she is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. We got a lot of comments coming in. Let's see. Told Kiara to stop lying that she knows she can't beat them. We see Jimmy Johnson says Makayla had that rare trait of being able to kick it into a higher gear when opposing players would try to get into her head and trash talk her. Yes, she did. She was a fierce competitor. I cannot wait to cover her on July 20th to get to do their games, and you'll get to see Makayla Epps a lot here on D&D Sports Network. Mary Sue is tuning in, said go Kiara. Brianna Deskin says that's a hard question for Kiara to answer, Darryl. Used to we couldn't ask Kiara that because she's a high school kid. You don't want to put them on that kind of stage. Yeah. But now that she's an adult, we got to get these answers out of her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Terry Jackson says, I had another young lady from Pikeville High School this weekend, and you can tell they run a great program and a tight ship over there. You can tell it's ran the proper way for college. Said Mary Sue Hodge said, great interview. Carl Whitey Little said that was a great interview. D&D, Dream of Thornsberry. So I'm so very proud of her baby girl, Kiara. So a lot of comments there. Kiara, she's called games with us. Kiara in the early days, Kiara, she's one of them players like Cassie Rowe that we built the D&D on, so definitely excited to see Kiara where she's at. So
absolutely.
And we said, Terry Jackson said Pikeville runs a tight ship. Yes, they do. I look forward to seeing, now they got the legendary Denise Campbell coaching. Denise Campbell, who is she's a Hall of Famer. I mean, she's an unbelievable coach. She ended up coaching. She used to coach basketball at Pike Central. Then she went to Pikeville to coach softball. And a lot of people knew when she went over there was a good chance that she would be the next coach.
So she coached basketball and softball as well?
I don't know if she'll still coach softball now. I wouldn't think so. But, she did, but not at the same time.
Just multi-sport coach.
Christy Orem was the coach when Kiara played, and she's not the coach there anymore. Denise Campbell hasn't coached yet, but this summer they made the transition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know Coach Orem. Me and Coach Orem didn't always have the greatest relationship. Mm-hmm. I respect Coach Orem. More than anything, I respect her. The stuff that she's able to get these girls to do, couldn't be more happy. But, I don't think that she was always the biggest fans of us. That's, that's one reason we didn't get to cover Pikeville games like we did. But, I'm excited to see, to say the least, I want the best for Coach Orem, and I'm excited to see what her next stop is, because she needs to be on the sidelines again somewhere. So hopefully she'll be coaching somewhere in the future. But, that Kiara learned under a good coach.
Absolutely.
But as you was sitting there asking me beforehand, you mentioned movies earlier. You're talking about Marvel movies, who my favorite superhero is.
Yeah.
Growing up, it's probably Batman.
Which version?
I like the was it Michael Keaton?
Yeah, that was I think 1989.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, that one was probably my favorite.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not big into a lot of them. I would like to see the new Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I've become a fan of the Deadpool series.
Oh yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah. So guys, you got questions or comments? Get them to us. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, JJ. We was sitting here, had some breaking news that we didn't mention last week. Mason Hall is the new head coach at Wesley Christian.
Really?
Yeah. So he took over Wesley Christian. I don't know. Do you know who Wesley Christian is?
No, I never heard of them.
Okay. They're a prep school that's here in our backyard. All right.
Okay.
They play, they're supposed to be going back onto the grind session. So they play the Oak Hills of the world, the Monteverts, them big time teams. They play them, and they come right here in our backyard to play Wesley Christian. So, it's a program that a lot of people need to get behind. Our good friend Sean Ward was the coach there. He stepped down. We mentioned that on the show. But we didn't mention Coach Sean Ward's next step, and that's at Huntington Prep. So he will be moving up to Huntington Prep, being an assistant coach under Arkell Bruce.
And that's the school where Wiggins played, or is that?
No, that's Huntington High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Huntington Prep. Let's see. No, Wiggins played at Prep. Yeah. Wiggins played at Prep. I was thinking OJ Mayo.
Yeah, what's that? Patrick Patterson?
Yeah, they played at Huntington High. Wiggins, there's, I think, 7 active NBA players that played at Huntington Prep.
And it's that close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are-
Well, we cover all of Huntington Prep's home games here on D&D Sports Network.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
and
we'll get to see a lot of talent this year.
yeah, and we're going to see Coach Ward. The Huntington Prep is they got the #1 guard in the nation, which is Darren Peterson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you get to see him night in, night out here on D&D Sports Network. So couldn't be more happy. Andrew Evans says Keldon Johnson played at Prep too. Yeah, Keldon Johnson, Miles Bridges. There's 7 active NBA players. I used to have the graphic. I don't have them right now, but we do have a graphic of all of them. I'll try to dig that up for you folks at home. But yeah, so Wesley Christian is the local version of that, but it's an international program, so it's all international kids.
It's a local program that's nothing but international kids.
Yep. All international kids. Now Mason Hall, I expect Mason Hall to maybe have a few Americans there, but yeah, it's and Sean Ward ended up winning a national title there. He as an assistant and as a head coach.
Oh, really? That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why it's more international? Like, that it's a local program, but it doesn't have any?
Well, a lot of it is, I think comes down to dollars and cents. I think the international kids, they got Wesley Christian, and a lot of what they do is on tuition, and I'm sure that American kids that have I guess dream of playing and that will pay the tuition can go there. But Pastor Ken also, he's big into helping kids from other areas, and for them to come in and be able to go to Wesley Christian and achieve their dreams and get out of their situations in other countries, that's something Wesley Christian's built on. So they're a Christian school, and they do an amazing job there. Mason Hall is a great fit.
That's really good.
So tickled to death for that. But as we're sitting here, I'm trying to make sure before I go into our next topic, make sure that we got all the topics. Oh, books you've read.
Books that I've read recently.
Yeah. What books? Are you a big reader?
I haven't read a book in a really long time. I mean, unfortunately,
I don't get time. Folks at home, if you got book recommendations, let me know. But as I get older, I'm wanting to, I guess, culture myself a little bit, and but my biggest thing is I don't have time.
Yeah, that's
to
the
read
main thing
books.
for me.
Yeah, but I can count on one hand how many books I've ever read.
Really?
Yeah.
Outside of school?
Outside school.
outside school.
During school, I read like Dante's Dilemma and Miss Golf. She made me read a lot of nonsense that I'll never use in my life. but I'm glad she did, though, because
she was a phenomenal teacher.
She was. And but the books that I've read, I think I've only read two books in my life, in my adult life.
Most of the books that I've read are poker books.
Amarillo Slim's life story was the first book I ever read from start to finish.
Yeah.
And then the second one was Philip Haywood, Faith Family Football.
I bet that
his
was
first
a really
book.
Good one.
It was. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
A lot of people you went to school with, they mentioned in the book, so it's a really neat read. Because people you grew up with, people is in the book. So that I was always a big magazine reader, but and I call people liars all the time. People that says book is always better than the movie, that's a lie. I do not. I will never say that because I can't remember what I read from one chapter to the other.
Yeah.
So
and I can vividly remember.
I can remember. On the movie. So I don't know if other people are like that or not, but I do not believe that books are better than movies.
I mean, I've talked to people who have read, like, I think the Hunger Games.
Is
a book. Plus, it's a film as well.
Yeah.
I've talked to some people that said the book is better. I've talked to some people that said the movie's better. So, I mean, really just.
I just don't see how a book could be better.
Because you actually have visuals. I mean, you've got visuals in your mind versus visuals you can actually see on screen.
I guess that's true. Like you can visualize something or a character being like any way in a book.
Yeah.
But when you see it on a movie, they tell you what that character is.
I think that one of the reasons why some people will say that a book is better than a film is because a lot of times a film will leave details out of a book that other people will remember. So that could be one of the reasons.
Well, the Terry Jackson, if you're still tuning in, let me know. Books are better than movies. Books are more truth than movies. Now, David Jones said that. Now, I know David Jones ain't read. I would bet that David Jones has read one book in his entire adult life, and that's probably Faith Family Football too, because he was a star in it.
David, feel free to comment on that. Let us know.
So let us know, Terry Jackson, if you're tuning in, let us know. Terry is one of the top trainers in the area. Him and Andrew Evans is in too. Andrew Evans runs E&A Hoops.
Really?
Yeah. So he is the owner of E&A Hoops, and that's when you talk in our area right now. If you're not good at basketball, he said I read all the time. David, I've never seen a book at your house. Unless it's propping up the couch or something. The
audiobooks.
Now said Justin McCoy's backing it up. He says, "I got you, Dave. I've seen you read." But as you sit and take, if you're not good at something now, it's your own fault. Absolutely. Because you got trainers everywhere. You got David Jones in football.
Yeah.
You got Corey Hayes over there if you're wanting to lift weights, wanting to get in shape. You got, every town has a Corey Hayes. Yeah. They may not be as good, but they got one. Then you got, in basketball, you got Terry Jackson comes in on the weekends. I think he's doing some weekdays now. You got E&A Hoops. You got Carla Booth. She was the first. She was the pioneer, the trailblazer. So, if you're not good at something these days, then it's your own fault.
Absolutely.
Because you're not the one, you're not willing to put in the work.
Whether it's athletics or just anything in life in general, there's just so much information out there that
to pull
you can
from.
absorb. Yeah.
So we're against the hard break here. We're going to have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be right back with the final segment of the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. You don't want to miss this. Come right back and join us here on the D&D Sports Network. Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Holman Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
High School. Continue to follow D&D Sports, best coverage in the mountains.
We're back here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy. JJ, we had Kier Thornsberry on early. Listen, this show right here, I have got so much feedback from this show. The people are falling in love with it because it gives them something to start their morning with, and it helps teach them stuff.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited. I love the fans. We're getting a lot of women in the comment section. We're getting a lot of women, and we got older men tuning in. Love the variety, young kids. Everybody's tuning into this show. So a lot of buzz right now about the startup show, and I couldn't be more excited. It's something that leads into the show that, one of the shows that got me through a lot of tough times and got my start in the business was KSR. So, I'm tickled to death, from 8 to 10 every morning. You guys can start your mornings here with JJ and myself here on D&D Sports Network. But JJ, as you was sitting there talking, well, we got a lot of plans for the futures for this show. we're going to something that has aggravated me to death is JJ. I have about tore my vehicle all to pieces because of potholes. So we're going to bring awareness to potholes. If you got a pothole in your area that needs fixed, send it to us, and it might be our pothole of the day. We're going to start doing a pothole of the day.
That last one you hit when we were in Logan.
Oh, I thought we was gone. Like, I mean, I was praying. I was sitting there trying to get a hold of my lawyer, send my will, sign my will, and get it figured out. Like, I mean, all that was going through my mind before we come out of that pothole. That was deep.
Took us from drive to neutral.
Yeah. I mean, how many potholes can do that?
Not many.
Yeah, so
you got to be really bad.
So tune in tomorrow to see the pothole of the day. So we also are going to start our county tour. So all the counties in our coverage area, we're going to do one a day, and we're going to teach folks at home about that county.
Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to that again. I mean, it just goes back to me not being or having been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
So I finally get a chance to see the entire area.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So I also, JJ guys, for 2 weeks or for a week now, we've only been doing it a week. So this is our 6th day doing the show.
6th day of training.
Yeah. 6th day of training. And you have wanted to talk about the steroid era in baseball.
Yes.
So JJ, what brought you? Why is that on your mind every day when we come in? JJ's first thing he does when we sit down, can we talk about steroid era today? And I put it down on our paper every day. I put it down, and we've not got to it. But what put that in your head? Why are you wanting to talk about steroid era?
I mean, I just came across some TikTok videos, and I saw one of Sammy Sosa like hitting home runs that was over the stadium, and seeing old Barry Bonds clips and Mark McGwire clips. And I was just thinking about that time period, in 1998, that was, the home run race, the race to 70. You had Sammy Sosa, you had Mark McGwire, and it was like every other game, you saw highlights on ESPN of one person hitting a home run, then another person hitting a home run. And now fast forward years later, I mean, a lot of those players aren't in the Hall of Fame, and especially a player like Barry Bonds, who's hit over 760 home runs.
That was the most exciting time in baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball has never been that interesting. I mean, I remember during football, or was it football? Yeah, during football games, they would do a live look-in of Barry Bonds on his chase.
They knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew. Now, 90% of the time, he was getting walked because there wasn't many pitchers that would pitch to him. You had to be in a horrible situation and have to pitch to him before you would actually pitch to the man. But I've, in my lifetime, by far, the best and most exciting baseball player I've ever watched.
And what was crazy was they did a stat where it showed like he had 352 at bats and got on base 354 times.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how?
Yeah,
how do you do that?
He was insanely good, man. Yeah. And it was, I mean, he wasn't just hitting them, he was crushing them to the San Francisco Bay.
Think about all the miniature boats.
Yeah, the little kayaks.
Yeah, the little kayaks where people were just waiting because they knew a ball was coming.
Yep. That people were going to say all day to watch that. So, I miss the steroid era. You yourself, do you think that they should have cracked down on the steroids?
I mean, I'm not really educated enough to know the effects that they have on your body.
Yeah.
But what I do know is how exciting that it made the sport, baseball in general. I mean,
they have terrible effects on your body. Now I think from a health aspect, I mean, when you go and look, it wasn't really baseball and stuff that really brought that to my attention. It was seeing what it done to wrestlers, and how it affected their families and their lives. That's the part, because you see now some of them, I mean, are living healthy and they don't look the greatest now, but they, but the steroids, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's illegal, it's a drug, and, but, to say that, I wish that something in baseball. I mean, you look Roger Clemens. I mean, like that dude was a flamethrower. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, the steroid era was by far the best. And if you are a kid these days, listen, even if you didn't care about baseball, you had to watch it. You know, because Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, them three guys captivated America, and I guarantee you that baseball has never been that popular throughout history.
And I've never seen a time in my life, with an exception of that time period, where they would automatically say, breaking news, this guy's up to bat.
Yeah.
And you never see that anymore.
Yeah, and they bring it in. No, that will never happen. The last time I seen it, I actually will tell you that after I read this comment. Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter to ever play. Him and Pete Rose definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I agree, Justin McCoy. We'll get to that in a second. The last look in that I seen where they've actually cut from another sport or cut in from a TV show or something was Aaron Judge when he was going to break
Roger Maris.
Yeah, Roger Maris's record. Yeah. So that was the last time that I seen a look in. Yeah. But Pete Rose and the steroid guys, listen, baseball, you are missing a huge opportunity. Them guys need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Give them their own room of like, call it the asterisk room or something, whatever. Like, well, put the Black Sox scandal in there with them as well. I mean, because baseball's been around how many years? 150, 200 years or something like that. I mean,
I don't even think you have to do that. You know, at the end of the day, you know, my thing is, you know, I think that the Hall of Fames tell the story. You know, like, so if you go to a museum, you know, museums tell the story, the history of that particular thing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's what the Hall of Fame should be about, JJ. I mean, I think Pete Rose, I think that, you know, I think Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, I think all them guys need to be in the Hall of Fame. And then you tell the story like, okay, this was an era that baseball, you know, these guys took performance enhancing drugs and they was proved guilty, and, you know, but, you know, here's their numbers, here's what they done to the sport, because that's what I want to know when I go. You know, I mean, like, I'm not positive. I've never been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I'm sure they tell this story about Shoeless Joe Jackson and the White Sox and, you know, the betting scandal and all that.
And how the manager, like, there was one pitcher on that team who he had to get so many wins for the season in order to get a bonus. Yeah. And they purposely set him out for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. So he couldn't get it.
Yeah. You see,
all he had to do was get one more win.
Guys, you let us know. Should Pete and Barry and Roger and Sammy, should they be in the Hall of Fame? Let us know what your opinions are. But, you know, that's just the way I am, you know, which I'm also a guy that thinks that, you know, like, statues should still be put up of like Confederate soldiers and stuff like that, you know, when you go to these towns, because not to idealize them, but, you know, you still will have kids asking, you know, hey, what'd this guy do? And then whether it's good or bad, you can still tell this story of what happened.
It's a dark piece of history, but you can't erase history.
That's it. You know,
you have to let people know like what happened.
Yeah, I mean that I'm a history buff, so I guess that's the only reason that I would, you know, go toward that side of things. Yeah, is, you know, I mean, listen, that's been there for all these years. You know, no reason to tear it down now. Let's just tell the real story of you know what that was and how America's changed on their beliefs. Absolutely, you know, over that time. But you know that's just my opinion. But you know, I'm excited for tomorrow's show to. You know, the biggest thing, I'm excited to talk about our county tour.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm really excited, and hopefully that's where we head after we do ourselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got to. Take when we leave here, a little tidbit, a little behind mine JJ's day. We do the show, then we leave and we go sell. So if you're a business wanting to grow your business, by the way, speaking of businesses, JJ, they want to remind people that this segment is brought to you by Solid Rock Development and Crace Construction. So if you guys are looking to build your home and your dream home today, make sure you call Willie Crace at Solid Rock Development. But you know, I'm excited to learn about these counties myself. Like, You know, for instance, Pike County. I don't know why it's named Pike County. I'm sure if I had to guess, and we're not doing any homework, I would say it's probably named after some general or some president.
General Pike or something like that.
Yeah, because the only reason I say that is because it seems like every state has a Pike County. So there has to be some famous guy that it was named after.
Isn't there like a Pike County in Ohio? Or
there's Pike County, Ohio. I think there's a Pike County, Indiana. You know, it seems like every state has a Pike County. So, you know, but I don't know what state we're going to start with. So let me ask you this. I'll let you pick. All right. I'm going to give you 5 counties in our coverage area, and you pick which one you want to start with.
Okay.
Perry, Pike, Boone, Floyd, or Mingo?
Well, I'm a Mingo County guy, so
you want to start with Mingo?
Yeah, we'll go with Mingo.
Okay, so tomorrow we will teach you about Mingo County here on the Startup Show, guys. I hope that each and every one of you guys enjoyed today's show. JJ, our numbers continue to climb. You know, every single show, the numbers get higher. So we're hoping you guys continue to love the show, love the content, and what we're bringing to the table. Tomorrow we'll have I'm not sure who the guest is, if we'll have a guest on, but, you know, hopefully we'll have a guest on and talk to them. Well, yes, we will. I know one.
The head coach?
Yeah, the head coach of the OPB Swish, Jason Whiffenstadt, will be in the house, and you'll get he'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into the county tours, pothole of the day. Make sure you guys send the pothole in your area that's really getting under your skin. Make sure you send us a picture of it, and we'll bring attention to it here and see if we can't use our magic here to get things fixed. And listen, you never know if it's so bad that it's really irritating one of our viewers. Me and JJ might go fix it. We might try to fix a pothole.
Imagine me trying to fix one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's something that I'll have to video, JJ.
Good comedy for sure.
Have you ever used a shovel?
Time or two, but it's been a long time.
Okay. Have you ever used a hammer?
When I was in the oil field, I was pretty much the comedic guy. Like they would have me swinging sledgehammers just for fun.
Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, we'll learn more about that tomorrow. Make sure you guys come right back and join my guy JJ and myself here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. Guys, so long and good day.